Now that the transfer window is officially closed, I thought I'd do a little rating on how I thought it went for Manchester United in terms of incomings, outgoings, where we strengthened, and how I feel just as a whole. And I'm going to go through the order of which players came in and which players left. So, of course, first of all is Matthias Cunha. So far he's played a handful of games, and personally, I've really like this type of player. I think he's really good on the ball. He's very creative. He looks for good passes. He can do a long shot, but I've not seen him try that many, to be honest with you. Of course, he's still yet to get his first goal and did get injured in the last game. But overall, for him, as a signing, I'm going to give Cunha a 7 out of 10. And of course, these ratings can increase as the season goes on, but this is just at face value and from what we've seen so far. The next player in the door was Bryan Mbeumo, and it took about a month for that deal to get done, if you remember. And there was the whole period of it just being completely silent, and it was in doubt whether or not we'd get him. But of course, as we all know, in the end, we did get him. And to say the least, he has been a breath of fresh air at this club. Of course, he's scored 2 goals so far, one against Grimsby, which we don't want to talk about that game anymore, and then, of course, in the recent game against Burnley, has scored again. He's electric. He's got so much pace. He puts in so much effort. He's got a good pass. He's just almost a finished product, exactly what we need. And he's going to be transformative. For him, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10 because the sky is the limit for him. And he is only 26 for the people who think he's in his 30s. And then we got the third signing, of course, the most expensive one of the transfer window for us, anyway, Benjamin Šeško. And he's not started a game yet. He's featured probably around 65 to 80 minutes total so far. And if we're being honest, not much promise has been shown just yet for the price tag. For the money we've spent for him, you'd expect at least a goal by now, but you've got to ease him in a little bit. He's still young. The things that do look good for him, however, is obviously everyone knows about his vertical. He can jump so high, it's unreal. Like in the game most recently, he jumped and his boot was at one of their defenders' heads. It's honestly crazy how high he can jump. But we haven't signed him to compete in the high jump, if we're being honest. He needs to score some goals, and he hasn't done so far, but I think he's just getting dripped in ever so slowly, just because the pressure at United, we all know it's immense. It makes players fail. Højlund failed because he was playing every minute of every game. He didn't have a chance, didn't have a backup. We need to ease Šeško in, and it's annoying because we have bought him for this much money, but he does need to be. But nevertheless, so far for Šeško, I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. Not done much yet, but and it's not his own fault. I said I was going to do it in order, but I thought I'd just get the incomings in first. The final one, Sané Lammens from Antwerp, of course, official today that we have signed him. We just need to wait for United themselves to announce that, but it's a new goalkeeper. And I've not seen him play for us. Of course, no one has seen him play for us. It's a weird time to bring him in during the international break when no one's going to be there with him. He's going to have to get up to speed, and if I'm being honest, I want him straight in the first team. I know what I said about Šeško and getting dripped in, but for a keeper, it's got to be different. Because what we have now clearly just is not good enough, whereas for the striker, we've played Mount there. We've played the trio of Mount, Mbeumo and Cunha, and that has worked pretty well. The goalkeeper situation is different. It's a one-man job, and Bienda's not good enough, Onana's not good enough. He needs to go straight into the team, and from his stats alone, he's got to be better than what we have. And it looks promising if he gets a good start. So for him, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Now moving on to the outgoings. So we got rid of pretty much every player that we wanted to, other than Malacia, as far as I'm aware. So, of course, Lindelof and Eriksen and Evans all left on a free, so they don't really get involved. Of course, Lindelof is now an Aston Villa player, which surprised me that he was able to get such a big move, if I'm being honest. Garnacho, of course, has gone to Chelsea for 40 million. I feel like we could have got more for him, considering the prices that wingers have been going for over the summer. Because, I'm going to be honest, he's better than a lot of them, and he actually did put out an apology. I still don't wish him the best because he's at Chelsea, but Anthony as well has gone on a permanent transfer to Real Betis, the club that he loves, and I do wish him all the best. His time at United was terrible, if we're being honest. He had a decent start, scored on his debut, but he just wasn't good enough, if we're being honest. And I think the amount he became a meme was not fair. He wasn't that bad. He wasn't good, but I think because it's United, it's so easy to target him. I do wish him all the best. Højlund has gone to Napoli on loan with an obligation to buy if they reach the Champions League spots, which they will, realistically, unless they fall off a cliff, because they have signed De Bruyne as well, and Højlund's come in to replace Lukaku whilst he's injured. I wish Højlund, honestly, all the best. He was on this shirt. It came off in the wash, so yeah, but because, like I said earlier, he was forced straight into the first team with no backup striker in his first year. Performed okay. Not terrible for someone of his age, and of course last year was pretty bad, but that's because the pressure has already been piling on him for the years. And I wish it could have worked out for him, because he was a childhood Man United fan. And it is a shame how he was treated, but again, he's gone now. Wish him all the best. Of course, just a quick one on Marcus Rashford. Wish him all the best too. But he's been gone a while, so I kind of forgot to mention him. But I wish Rashford could have won more at the club, because of course he came through the academy and he's been a fan favourite player for years now. And then we move on to Jadon Sancho. Gone to Aston Villa. I do not wish you all the best. I can't wait until we play Villa. And I hope you start. And I hope we beat you. Because words cannot describe my hatred towards Jadon Sancho. He knows what he's doing. He just decides to sit here and reject every other club for no reason, just because of his wage. And it is our fault for giving him such a wage. But he could be at Chelsea right now, balling out, but he's not. He's gone to Villa for a loan, and then he's going to move on a free next year and get a juicy little agent signing bonus and just go to Saudi, please. I have realised this is a really long video and probably not many people are going to get through the whole thing, but overall I'm going to give the entire transfer window, incomings and outgoings, a 6 out of 10. Can't go any higher because we didn't get that midfielder that we really wanted, but it's not terrible, and I can live with it.